into enabling smart decisions in small teams, organizations, and typically manufacturing companies. So we have developed products in relation to that, and we use basically three of our key capabilities, which is data acquisition, data transformation, and data analytics. So we collect data from humans and from machines as well, remote data acquisition from machines as well. So this is a prototype for an example actually that we have created for collecting data from humans, wherein we can create a simple team and any and all forms to collect that data can be shared within the team. So we can invite people and form teams and then share, created forms within the team. So now I'll show you how it can be used for a manufacturing domain, or this would give a good idea how it could be used within organizations to connect information. Yeah. So we are creating a form here. It's like a simple form. It goes on the shop floor and collects some data regarding the machine. We can collect it within this form. So now we've created a multi-form, and this form can be shared within, people like simple, we've seen in form builders. And now when we can enter the project numbers, the project name, specification, and whatever test we want to conduct. So the details can be filled here, and this is how we can actually collect, centralize all the quality data regarding any machines and even visualize such data. So right now this has been developed, and we are actually improving this UI part. And now we've also gathered capability to collect data from machines. So we install the sensors on the machines, collecting that data remotely on servers, and again getting this data to be visualized on form builders. So right now our capabilities are to collect, transform and analyze data so that decisions can be made regarding corporate purchases, real-time performance monitoring, quality monitoring, production monitoring. So these are the main applications that we are working on. Currently we are working with some projects. 30 seconds. Currently we are working on some projects with Tata Motors, Tata Auto Components, and in data analytics we are typically working with the likes of Equifax right now. So that's the projects that are going on right now. So we have some sort of customer validation that there is a need for something like this, and we are on our way to develop a great product here.
What problem are you solving?
Yeah, the problem solving here is that on the shop floor, when you go on the shop floor, this kind of data is usually collected, or even not even collected. I mean, the worker, that is another hassle. People usually do not do that. They do not have that discipline to actually enter the data which has been collected once it's like doing the same work twice. So, which is why we thought that we should actually collect the data right from the beginning and centralize it there itself, so remove the manipulation out of it.
In your system too, somebody has to manually enter the data, right?
Somebody has to see in some parts, like when we are collecting it from the sensors, then there is no manipulation.
So somebody has to enter the data, or somebody has to capture the data.
The sensors directly capture the data. Nobody has to actually manually enter it. But in some cases, when sensors cannot be there, it has to be manual.
So you're solving data collection.
Data acquisition, yes, and data collection, and then we are transforming this data to be used, whatever. For every for the CX store, there's a different dashboard. For an engineering team, there's a different dashboard. For a project management team, there's a different dashboard. The same data can be visualized and for different people for their decision making. That's the
my feeling is, you say you're focusing specifically on the manufacturing industry. Is that so?
Yeah, right.
The two areas that you spoke about, data acquisition and then data reporting, each is a vast field in itself when it comes to manufacturing. And it might almost do well to try to even focus on one or the other. I don't know, that's one point of thought. Two is your product. Okay. Now, so if I am a manufacturing production floor operator, right? And if he is my immediate shop floor supervisor, right? For us, what will your product offer that is more convenient than me quickly scribbling down the reasons on a piece of paper, the data on a piece of paper, giving it to him, and him going and entering the data. The reason I'm asking this question, mind you, yes, there is a value to, I mean, he's obviously duplicating effort if I'm writing down data and he's typing it. However, I am the value adder, right? This is how manufacturing companies think, right? I am the value adder, I am the shop floor operator. If your interface is going to be slower than paper, it's going to be very difficult for you to get buy-in.
Right.
So that's, have you talked to anybody about that thing? Have you got feedback in that area?
Yeah, actually, what we are doing right now, as you said, first part, I mean, as you said, data collection is a vast field itself and data reporting is another vast field itself. So for this, what we do is actually the sensor infrastructure, the instrumentation infrastructure that needs to be there to remotely acquire the data. We have implementation partner for that. So they do that bit. They get the data onto the server and then we take care of that to the portal, wherever it has to be viewed on different dashboards. Now the question of the data being, of the floor manager or the shop floor operator, it has to be done on the mobile application which we are developing, so that it is actually a bit faster than actually going and feeding that data onto a console. So we are doing a mobile application for that, so that same data can be.
Again, just sorry to interrupt. The comparison I think you guys need to understand for the manufacturing industry is not about console versus mobile application. It is about anything versus paper.
Right.
Manufacturing industry is an industry which prefers simplicity strongly. Yeah. If anything is more complex than writing on paper, they will say, let my value adder write on paper, I'll hire somebody else to actually do the entry, because I want my value adder working on building parts, not writing down or using mobile. Yeah. That is the challenge you have to seek to address.
Yeah. So I believe, for such, where the data has to be acquired really fast and the person has to focus on, if there is a possibility of introducing instrumentation there, we go ahead with that only. If there are things like, there's a heating process going on where actually there cannot be a, instrumentation thing involved, in that case, we could use the form builder and then the data collection using that.
Also, you might think about integrating it with existing ways of storing data, right? So they work on Excel and still Microsoft exist. So think about all the various back channels through which you could have a data compatibility and integration. So that could be one of the things.
Yeah, actually, there are requirements regarding that, like earned value calculation or
See,
connection with the ERP.
Your which is data acquisition made easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So focus on the easy part and make it really easy for them. That even if you have 2,000 Excel sheets with 1 crore data, in 2 minutes it could be brought on my platform and it could be played with it. And then all the data from your platform in 2 minutes can be exported back to DB or Access or any database you currently use, so that there is less friction between what they are using currently and what you are offering now.
So actually we are developing something like that where the data transfer from the server to the application can be very fast. We are developing something for that actually. So
can I ask you one question? One is how do you guys land up with Tatas? And the second thing is, are they paying you anything?
Yeah, they are paying us. Actually, we are not doing the complete thing. We are taking it in phases. So if we pitch the whole thing together, we'll be like, and we go ahead with something,
So what have you pitched then?
Yeah. So there came a requirement actually for some presses. There were some 14 mechanical presses where they wanted occupancy data to be done. So we started the project from there, and we installed the sensors to collect that data and got that data to the server. And then after that we understood, okay, now we have to, because they want to see this data on their scheduler, for which work order, for how much work has been done. They want to understand that. So now there the need is arising, and we understood that. So we are developing things like that. So we have our implementation partners, and together, we have been acquiring these projects. Data.com, it's a very recent.
What's your background? What's your team and the background?
I'm a mechanical engineer. I've worked with Godrej for 3 years, and I've been in this for past 1.5 years. My colleague Abhishek, he's our technical co-founder. He's worked with TCS and for 3 years, and he's been with me.
I was really involved in this data analytics. At TCS, I used to work for our financial risk management domain. So there my expertise was on this, the data acquisition and having the value out of the data. So that involves the much of the data analytics out there.
And who's your electronics guy?
Yeah, we have the third guy, electronics guy, he isn't here today. I mean, he's at Tata right now for implementation going on. So he's the instrumentation and control engineer with us. So we three are the core team, and there are like 4 developers.
See, my suggestion to you, listen to him carefully, because you are trying to do too many things with your work. Okay, so your value proposition has to be upfront. I mean, your value proposition not even data collection. See, they came to you with the problem, correct? Figure out what that problem is. I don't think data collection is the problem. Okay, you have to understand what they want to solve, and what the reason why you are hired and the reason what you are doing vis-a-vis what you are pitching. I think there is a thought process that has still to come to this. How long you been in this?
This project with Tata's, it's been going on for 2.5 months now. So they came up with this requirement because
And how long have you been looking at this idea?
At this idea, this thing we have been at it for a year now. Because we developed this thing earlier. We developed this thing before this, and then we got the Tata project, wherein we understood we remotely acquired.
Who are your biggest competitors?
In this field, we have a biggest competitor in Shopwiz. It is a US-based company. They are completely into almost the same, similar thing. They are acquiring data for overall equipment efficiency and first pass lead. There's a lot of parameters for operational performance monitoring. And this another Coaxis, I think Reliance Next Ventures has funded them.
See, on the issue of competitors, it was going to be one of my questions. You listed 2 competitors. Give me 20 minutes, I'll come back and list you 30 more in this industry. And I'll list you some of them like Siemens and Allen Bradley, I'll list some really big players who are in this as well. So you really have to figure out how you're differentiating yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be another, so 2 challenges really. Your too many things that you're trying to solve, and each one of those is an area where you have significant number of competitors, some of them very big and some of them very small, like my company as well. We're into a very, very similar problem space, but we've identified so maybe afterwards we can talk more and show. In fact, there are other companies in Pune called, one of my friends, a company called Altizon, which does exactly the same thing, but they're a step up, right? So perhaps there are some other people that you could also talk to in terms of research, etc.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.